Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today is the most auspicious day of Sri Gaur Purnima. So we will read some aspects of the personality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then some of his pastime. Mostly when he was a young child, since we're celebrating his birth. Vande Chaitanya Krishnasya Balya-lilam manoharam Laukikim apitamisha Chestaya balitantaram Vande Chaitanya Krishnasya Balya-lilam manoharam Laukikim apitamisha Chustaya valitantaram. Vande Chaitanya Krishnasya Balya-lila manoharam Chistaya valitantaram Vande Chaitanya Krishnasya Vaishnavi Vande Chaitanya Krishnasya Balya-lila manoharam Laukikim apitamisha Chistaya valitantaram. Vande, I worship Chaitanya Krishnasya of Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself. Balya-lila, pastimes of childhood. Manoharam, which are so beautiful. Laukikim, appearing ordinary. Api, although. Tam, those. Isha Chishtaya, by manifestation of supreme authority. Balita Antaram, quite fit, although appearing differently. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the childhood pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Lord Krishna himself. Although such pastimes appear exactly like those of an ordinary child, they should be understood as various pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone can please repeat. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the childhood pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Lord Krishna himself. Although such pastimes appear exactly like those of an ordinary child, they should be understood as various pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purports. In the Bhagavad Gita 9:11, this statement is confirmed as follows. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanamashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. To execute his pastimes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears on this planet or within this universe like an ordinary human being or human child. Yet he maintains his superiority as the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna appeared as a human child, but his uncommon activities, even in his childhood, like the killing of the demon Putana or lifting of Govardhan Hill, were not the engagements of an ordinary child. Similarly, although the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, as they will be described in this chapter, appear like the activities of a small boy, they are uncommon pastimes, impossible for any ordinary human child to execute. Om Jnanatimirandasya Kiranjana Sharakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vichaitanya Manobishtam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Chatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So just a few words on this verse, and then we'll speak about some of Lord Chaitanya's pastime. So Vande Chaitanya Krishnasya. So throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita, and throughout the Chaitanya Bhagavat, again and again the authors, they mention there is no difference between Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. Because here it says, Laukikim, they appear to be ordinary. Some of Krishna's activities appeared to be ordinary, but some of his were extraordinary. Killing a Putana, killing so many demons, going into the mouth of Aghasura and expanding himself and choking this huge demon. He was so big that he looked like a mountain with a huge cage, a huge cave. The killing and subduing of Kaliya. Even Kaliya himself, he offered a prayer to Krishna. He said that anugraha nirvisha bhavat, that now, because the Yamuna has become free from this poison. Why? Because Krishna has performed these wonderful, merciful activities just in a childlike form, just in a human-like form. So although Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Of course, some of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are extraordinary. Not quite like Krishna in the sense that he doesn't hold up Govardhan Hill. That was the one activity that convinced everyone in Vrindavan that Krishna was doing. All the cowherd boys were frustrated because they were saying Krishna killed the Bakasura, Krishna killed the... Oh, just imagine, child play, no. But then they started to believe a little bit when Krishna tumbled down the twin Arjuna trees. They began to believe a little bit. And then, when he lifted Govardhan Hill, everybody saw it. There was no question of anything else, definitely. So Lord Chaitanya, he has many pastimes, and we'll get into those pastimes in a few minutes, some of those pastimes. So it says, Adi-lila manohara, that his childhood pastimes are so wonderful that they're manohara. They steal away our mind. Our mind is generally attracted to so many things. But the Lord, that's why he performs these human-like pastimes. In the Gopal Tapani Upanishad, it says, Narakrita Param Brahma Karana Manusham. It says that even though the Lord is always in the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, still, he attracts everyone by performing these human-like activities. And Uddhava, in his ecstasy, when he was speaking to Vidura, he said, Yan Adi-lila paikam swayugamayam balam darshataya grihitam. That, oh my Lord, you are performing these wonderful human-like activities. Actually, they are not human-like. We are Krishna-like, in the sense of our form. We have 2 arms, 2 legs, like Krishna. But human, because that's our point of reference. We see this is human. So Krishna comes among us, and he performs these wonderful pastimes. But one should never think, as this purport emphasizes, that these are ordinary activities. They're so wonderful, vismapanam swasyacha, that the Lord himself is attracted to these pastimes, just like Mahavishnu. He was so attracted to Krishna's pastimes that he created a situation by stealing the 9 sons of the Brahman. Even the last son, he made him disappear. He didn't just, he disappeared totally. Why did he do that? He wanted to see Krishna. And when he saw Krishna, Arjuna was amazed that Krishna, although Krishna bowed down to Mahavishnu, he could see that Mahavishnu was attracted to Krishna. And he understood Krishna is the Supreme. He is beyond Mahavishnu. He is beyond Vishnu. Arjuna never thought about these things. Just like Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi, they didn't think about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as being extraordinary. So, Laukikam Apitam Isha Cheshtaya. These are Isha Cheshtaya. These are endeavors only that can be performed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, Balitantaram, they're quite fit for the Supreme Person, although they appear to be ordinary. So yesterday we spoke a little bit about about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birth, but just going into a little more detail. Sachi Devi had 8 daughters. Every one of them died right after birth. And so Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi, they were a little bit sad. Srila Prabhupada comments that even though ordinary people, when things go bad, they depend more on Krishna. But devotees, they always depend on Krishna. But then they had Vishwarup. So Prabhupada said, normally when things go good for materialistic people, they forget about God. You get a lot of money. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nadana Najana Nasundari, money, followers, this is not very good. Too much absorption in the opposite sex. Srila Prabhupada said so many times about Lord Chaitanya. He was reciting the pastimes of Krishna and the gopis, yet he was the strictest sannyasi. He would not even allow a lady or a lady disciple to come near him and offer obeisances. They would have to do so at a distance and not to be seen by him. It's always better to offer obeisances to someone without them seeing. Because if they're seeing, it's like, see how humble I am? No. But if we offer without anyone seeing, then we actually are displaying, we're feeling humility. We don't want to draw attention to ourselves. We want to offer everything to the superior entity. Of course, before the Lord, we offer dandavats. So this habit was practiced among the 6 Goswamis. They would offer obeisances, but even from a distance, never to be seen. When Raghunath Das Goswami offered obeisance to Nityananda Prabhu at a distance, Nityananda called him and said, "You thief! You're a thief. You want to present yourself as a greater devotee, and you want to deprive me of having your darshan." And they had joking pastimes. And then the Panihatas festival happened, and Nityananda Prabhu brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He brought him. But who could see that? Raghunath Das Goswami, 1 or 2 other devotees. They could see Lord Chaitanya. Actually, Raghunath was seeing Lord Chaitanya, and he was laughing, and people were looking at him like, what's wrong? What's wrong with him? Even Lord Chaitanya, sometimes he would see Jagannath, and then he would see Krishna. He would see Jagannath would transform into Krishna, and he would express ecstasy, special ecstasy, and no one could understand. So Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, they were walking along. Nityananda had his pot of condensed milk and sweet rice, and he was offering it into the mouth of Lord Chaitanya. So everyone was seeing that Nityananda is throwing something into the air and it disappears. Oh, he must be a magician. And then Lord Chaitanya would offer this condensed milk, this sweet type of sweet rice, into the mouth of Nityananda. They saw Nityananda. What's he doing? So these are the extraordinary pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should never think they are ordinary. He's always the Supreme Person. Just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what is that verse? I can't think of it right now. Before that, I can't think of the verse. Ishwaran api. Hare Krishna. Anyway, he says that even though he appears to be born, he appears to be a small child, he always maintains his position. Or Prakritim Tvam Vadishtaya. He always maintains his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, when they received the opulence of having a wonderful son who is actually an expansion of Balaram, Vishwarup, they became very happy. They worship the Lord more. This is a devotee. If a devotee is in distress or a devotee receives material blessings, He sees it that it's the same. Actually, Srila Prabhupada says in his purport to Bhagavad Gita 256, he says that actually when a devotee, something is taken away, something is very difficult, he thinks, I should have suffered more. But Krishna is just giving me enough to remind me that the material world is not my home. And when he gets some opulence, he thinks, even though I don't deserve it, Krishna is giving him this facility to serve him better. So that way a devotee is never bewildered by the material energy, but sees everything as descending from Krishna. So after some time, all of a sudden, the Lord decided he will appear. And he entered into the heart of Jagannath Mishra, and he entered into the heart of Sachi Devi. Some of our acharyas, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says, when he entered into the heart, he created by his internal energy his presence within the womb. And Sri Baladevi Vijayabhushan, he says, no, in the heart means in the womb, in the case of Sachi Devi. So, in any case, he entered into their hearts. And then Sachi Devi said, I see these celestial beings in my dreams. And Jagannath Mishra said, oh, I was dreaming that the Lord entered into my heart. So they were perceiving this. They thought it was a dream, but it was actually Lord Chaitanya. He entered into the heart and the womb of Sachi Devi and stayed for 13 months. So they were becoming a little much in anxiety. You know. Is this another Shukadev? No. Will he stay there for 16 years? No. No. So, but after the 13th month, he appeared, and Srila Prabhupada makes great emphasis that this Lord appearing in the heart means there was no ordinary intimate relationship between Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. They are not ordinary. They are Mahabhagavatas. They are pure devotees. They are actually Krishna's internal energy. There's no need for some external mechanism. The Lord actually descended, and when he decided to appear, although Sachi Devi thought that he came out of her womb, because just like in the case of Devaki and Yashoda Mai, Krishna appeared, they thought he came from the womb. But of course there was no like blood or all these things that happen in ordinary childbirth. But they thought somebody came, maybe clean. They were actually, Yogamaya covered them, they could not see what happened. And the Lord just appeared. So he appears. Ajopi san abhiyatma bhutanamishvaropi san. Just remember the verse from Bhagavad Gita. Although Ajopi san abhiyatma, it appears that he's born. He always maintains his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 3 months old, killing Putana, killing Shakatasura. And Lord Chaitanya, extraordinary. So he entered, and on the 13th month, first thing he did was by his energy and by his influence, he covered the moon. He actually made Rahu think. Rahu actually knew Lord Chaitanya is appearing. He had the vision of Lord Chaitanya appearing, this beautiful golden form. And then he thought, why, this is Gaura Chandra. Why should this ordinary Chandra full of defects, all these dark marks, let me cover him? No. And let the real moon glow. And so that was Gaura Chandra. But first, Lord Chaitanya, before he appeared, he caused this eclipse and everyone went to the Ganga. Everyone. Even the atheists and the Muslims and non-believers, they also went because they're just thinking, I want something auspicious. They're not thinking, this is something wonderful is about to happen. They're just thinking about themselves. But all the devotees, especially Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur, they began to dance wildly. Although they really, Advaita Acharya knew that the Lord had appeared. And Haridas could not understand, why is he dancing so wildly? So the Lord appeared. And when Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they could not believe how beautiful he was. They thought, what have we done? What pious activities? Of course, there was no question of pious activities. They are eternal associates of the Lord, but they thought, because we must have done some pious activities, now the Lord has appeared. He was so beautiful that the wives of Brahma, the wife of Shiva, and even the wife of Lord Nrsimhadev from the spiritual world came, and they took the bodies of Brahmanis, and they were bringing all kinds of gifts for Lord Chaitanya. This was on right after his appearance. Then the next day, when Jagannath Mishra performed ceremonies, and Nilambar Chakravarti, who is actually an incarnation of Garga Muni, he performed the horoscope. So Sita Thakurani, the wife of Advaita, because she also knew this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So she came and she brought all kinds of gifts, and she brought other celestial ladies, and all the wives of the demigods were coming, and they were offering all these wonderful gifts to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so then they said, let us have the name-giving ceremony and horoscope. So Nilambar Chakravarti had because when Sachi Devi passed the 10th month, they went to Nilambar. What's happening? Is this something, is he not going to be born? What's happening? And he said, he did a calculation. He will be born at such and such a time. But then he saw also, this child is extraordinary. He has the features, all the features of an extraordinary living being. He saw that even before the birth. But then he did the horoscope after the birth. And he looked at the horoscope and he almost fainted. He said, there's a prediction that a great king will be born in Bengal and he will rule the world. Maybe this child we will see. And then he said, no, this horoscope is beyond any king. It is like the horoscope of Narayan. No. And then he saw and he said, he will be more learned than Brihaspati. He will bring religion to the whole universe. And he was overwhelmed. He couldn't speak anymore. And then one Brahmin came up from the audience. There's so many people. And he did his own horoscope. He said, this child is just like Narayan. He actually revealed it. He revealed Lord Chaitanya's identity. But no one, they were just thinking, this Nimai. Well, he wasn't Nimai yet. No. Sita Thakurani, she was the one that gave him the name Nimai. Because being the wife of Sadashiva, she was thinking, the two inauspicious entities who are ghost-like followers of Shiva, they may come, they take advantage of these, and therefore let me give him the name Nimai, because the neem tree chases away ghosts, and it's very auspicious. And also, they gave him the name Nimai for another reason. Anyone know? Yes, because the neem tree it lives for a very long time. So they wanted him to live. He's so beautiful, how could we ever be separated from him? So then this astrologer, he said, he will establish all religious principles. Yada yada hi dharma shaglanir bhavati bharata bhutanama dharma sha. He will establish religious principle and drive away all irreligion. And then he said that he will inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. He will make everyone chant and dance in ecstasy. And then he said, he will explain devotional service in such a way that great personalities like Brahma, Shiva, and Shukadev desire to hear it. Otherwise, he will be the greatest exponent of Vaishnava, transcendental spiritual philosophy. And then he said that anyone who sees him will immediately be filled with loving compassion, will be considerate to all living entities, and will become detached from all material desire just by seeing him. And then he said, even the Yavanas and the atheists who do not believe in Vishnu, when they see this child, they will offer their obeisances and worship him. And then he said that everyone from all parts of the world will be benefited. And this child is so auspicious that he will bless Brahma, Shiva, all of the demigods, his parents, all of the Brahmins, and everyone will be blessed by his presence. He is the supreme. He is supreme. Even he will accomplish everything that Lord Vishnu accomplishes when he comes. And then he got up and he embraced Jagannath Mishra. He said, I cannot believe that you have such a child that is so wonderful. But there's one thing he didn't reveal. He saw in the horoscope that he would take sannyas. But if he revealed that, then everyone would become distraught. No. And later on, of course, anyway, I'll come to that in a few minutes. So then, the first days, when he turned over, first he was on his stomach, then he turned over and he put his feet up. And Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi saw all the marks of Vishnu, of Krishna, on his feet. But they thought, some coincidence. But then after a few days, he started to walk. Normally a child takes years to walk, but he started walking very quick, just like Krishna. He was having Adi-lila when he was 10 years old. Even when he was 7 years old, he started having amorous pastimes with the gopis. So everything's accelerated. Even it says in Chaitanya Bhagavat that Kali Yuga became accelerated just for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. That all the symptoms that normally we would find in Kali Yuga after 100,000 years have already appeared. That's why things are so bad. Normally it wouldn't be quite this bad yet. Just like, sometimes a business, they have a graph, starts out like this and then gradually goes down. But in Kali Yuga, just for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya went like that. And by the mercy of the Sankirtan movement, it will go up. But went down drastically. Why? Because this would, by the contrast of such miserable conditions, Lord Chaitanya will bring happiness to everyone. So therefore, Kali Yuga has been accelerated. So don't feel so bad that it's so difficult in Kali Yuga, because normally this would be coming after 50,000, 60,000 years. Of course, don't use that as an excuse. Therefore I cannot practice Krishna consciousness. Kali Yuga is too strong. No. Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Just like one time, the devotees, they were very new. And Srila Prabhupada explained the 4 regulative principles. And one devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, it seems impossible to follow these principles. And the devotee's like. And then Srila Prabhupada said, yes, it is impossible. No. 2 out of 4? No, maybe? No. But then Srila Prabhupada said, to some people's dismay, but by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the impossible becomes possible. So don't think that just because Kali Yuga has been accelerated that, I have no problem, I can't follow. No problem. No. Big problem. Means you're not taking advantage of the mercy of Sri Gaurachandra. No. So, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very small child, he began to walk around the house. And he manifested ankle bells on his legs. And Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi, they heard this sound of ankle bells. Well, how could that be? No, it couldn't be our child. First of all, he's not even old enough to walk. But he was walking around at night. And then in the morning, they saw the prints in the dust. They saw the marks of the lotus feet of Krishna. And Jagannath Mishra came to Sachi Devi, said, "We are saved, we are liberated, we will not have to take birth again. Our Shalagram Shila is manifesting in the form of baby Krishna. We heard the ankle bells, now we see. We have been liberated by Shalagram." They immediately went, did puja to their Shalagram. Our Shalagram has become alive, he's moving everywhere. And so they were very happy. As we've all heard, Lord Chaitanya would cry. He would cry, and no one could stop. Only when Sachi Devi would feed him, he would stop, because it's very difficult to cry and take milk at the same time. No. Although I did hear about one Brahmin, he could blow a conch shell for 1 hour. No. So he somehow or another mastered the art of breathing through the nose and blowing out through the mouth. Some ex-yogi or something. No. But anyway, but Lord Chaitanya would immediately cry. And then, so, in the beginning, some of the ladies said, "What are we going to do? Hare Krishna." When they said Hare Krishna, Hari, Hari, he stopped crying. Then he started crying again. So they said, "Hari, Hari, Hare Krishna," and he stopped crying. So by his crying, he was again introducing the Sankirtan movement. Everyone had to chant Hare Krishna. They would come and take turns, and they would chant and chant. Everyone was chanting all day, and he was happy. But one day, even though they were chanting, he would not stop crying. They tried everything, more chanting, a chorus, an ensemble of hundreds of devotees chanting. We would not stop. No. But then someone said, "Today is Ekadashi." And when they said Ekadashi, he made a certain gesture. And he made a gesture, he wanted to eat. And he looked at the deity. So someone thinking, he wants to eat what the deity is eating? This is Ekadashi. You can't do that. But then someone remembered that on Ekadashi, that Hiranya and Jagadish Pandits, they would offer a great feast. So they said, could it be that Nimai wants to take a feast? They took him to the house of Hiranya and Jagadish, and he immediately went and started eating the whole offering of Lord Vishnu. He was actually, again, he was demonstrating, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I don't have to fast on Ekadashi. Of course, later, when he became a devotee, then he fasted on Ekadashi. But this particular Ekadashi, he took the whole offering of Lord Vishnu. And then yesterday I was explaining to some devotees one of his pastimes. When a Brahmin came to visit his house, I'm going to say it in a more condensed form. This Brahmin came and he wanted to give rice and feed his deity, because his deity is living in the forest. He will offer roots and fruits. No. And so Jagannath Mishra said, yes, please. He touched his feet. Yes, let us prepare. We will prepare. No, I want to cook. So he cooked. And he offered, and as he began to offer, his deity was Bala Gopal. No. And here we have Bala Gaur Gopal. No. Or Gora Bala, or Gaur Gopal. So Lord Chaitanya ate the offering. Jagannath Mishra was very angry, but the Brahmin said, no, he's innocent, ignorant child. Can't punish him. So Jagannath Mishra said, please offer again. No, please. Okay. But he looked at he looked at Nimai like, no. And I will take him with the ladies. So they took him with the ladies. And one of the ladies said, Nimai, why are you eating the remnants of this Brahmin? We don't know what caste he's from. He might be some, strange Brahmin, some tantric Brahmin. Why are you eating his remnants? And he said, I'm a cowherd boy. I always eat the remnants of the Brahmin. So he was revealing again, I'm Krishna. But no one could understand. He said, no, you should not eat the remnants. No, my duty is to eat the remnants. I'm a cowherd boy. He said it again and again. Could pay attention. Then the Brahmin, it was dark, getting dark. He made his offering and he said the Gopal mantra and he looked and there is Nimai eating. And so again, Jagannath Mishra ready to punish him. Can't do that. So the Brahmin said, all right, Krishna does not want me to feed him today. Because of my sinful activities in the past, Krishna doesn't want this. I will just go back to the forest. But then Vishwarup came. He was so beautiful. And he said, please accept. We will make sure that Nimai doesn't interfere. And Nimai, they took him again with the ladies. And he said, what is the problem? He keeps calling me. He keeps calling me, I go. And they said, no, just settle down. So they put Nimai to sleep. And then Jagannath Mishra said, I will lock the door. I will bolt the door. I will sit in front of the door. Vishwarup grabbed his lotus feet, said, please, please cook again. He said, it's already past midnight. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Everyone is asleep. Nimai is sleeping like a baby. He is a baby. And so then he did the offering and he chanted the mantra and he looks and there's Nimai. He said, he looked at Nimai like, what are you doing? And Nimai said, what is the problem? You keep calling me, I come. If you don't want me to come, don't call me. So, totally bewildered. What do you mean? He said, you call me to eat, I came and ate. And then Nimai walked over in front of him. And he assumed the form of Krishna with 8 arms. He had a flute, he had a stick, he had butter, he had a butter pot, he had the 4 symbols of Vishnu. And then the forearms of Vishnu disappeared. And he appeared as Krishna. And then he played his flute. And he said, my dear Brahman, I have appeared again and again. You were always my devotee and I have always been your Lord. When I appeared in the house of Nanda Maharaj, you came and gave me rice. So now I have appeared again and you come. Every time I come, you will come and give me rice. This is your eternal service to me. So, and the Brahman was in complete transcendental bliss. And then Lord Chaitanya said, but don't reveal this to anyone. Otherwise I will kill you. A little severe, no? So, okay. But then everyone woke up. They saw Nimai there with rice on his lips. Uh-oh. He did it again. But the Brahmin immediately, no, I made the offering. He has taken the remnants. I gave him some remnants. Okay. They were all happy. Then the Brahmin thought, I can't keep this a secret. I have to tell them. And then in his mind he saw Nimai, I will kill you. Oh, okay. If he kills me, the Brahmin was thinking, if he kills me, what's the problem? If I get killed by Krishna, what is the problem? But then I won't see him anymore. So he kept it secret, and that way he stayed there for 2 or 3 months, just worship every day, offering to Gopal and giving the remnants to all the devotees and to Nimai. And he had the darshan of Nimai. So you better, I'm glad he didn't kill me. I got all this darshan. No. And so this was such a wonderful pastime. So shortly after that, Jagannath Mishra, he had to take Nimai for school. He had to start his education. So he took him to Gangadas Pandit. And he just looked at each letter one time. And he memorized it. And he could write it. And after 3 days, the next day, he learned all the sandhya. And the third day he was composing. Jagannath Mishra was surprised. And then he became the star student, the greatest student of Gangadas Pandit. He was so proud, this wonderful boy. But then something happened. Jagannath Mishra had a dream. And in the dream, he saw Vishwambar taking sannyas. He immediately woke up. Nightmare. Nightmare for Jagannath Mishra. And he thought, this is not but just a dream. But then he had that dream again. And he thought, oh no, this is not good. So the next day he came to Sachi Devi. He said, we have to take Nimai out of school. And what? He's a Brahmin. He has to go to school. That's the duty of a Brahmin. No. He shouldn't go to school. I don't want him to go to school. He didn't want to tell her his dream. So, no. She said, no, he must go to school. No, I don't want him to go to school. She said, how will he maintain himself? Jagannath Mishra said, there are so many cobblers, they maintain themselves. There are so many gardeners, they maintain themselves. There are so many, he can learn to be a Vaishya. No. He doesn't have to be a Brahmin. And Sachi Devi, so this is very unusual. No. Why is my husband behaving like this? Then he took him out of school. And Nimai was very angry. He started breaking things and Sachi was upset. And then all the Brahmins started coming to his house. Why have you taken Nimai out of school? He's such a wonderful boy. He's so capable. This is the great injustice. You are doing violence. So Jagannath Mishra said, okay, we'll put him back in school. So we put Nimai in school. But Nimai didn't like school very much. And therefore, because he learned everything, he already knows everything, he's the source of everything. So he would not go to classes. Instead, he would go to the Ganga and play with his friends. Also, his friends would not go to school. They would all go and play in the Ganga. And especially at midday, the Brahmins would be chanting Gayatri. And Nimai would go underwater and grab their feet and pull them, and they go underwater. Or sometimes a Brahmin would be chanting mantras, and he would come and push water in their face. Or someone would do an offering, and he would come and spit on the offering. See, you ruined my offering. And one Brahmin, he had his deity, he was dressing his deity, just getting ready to put him on his simhasan. And Nimai came and sat on the simhasan. And Brahman said, what are you doing? He said, don't you know who I am? Again, he revealing himself. Don't you know, this is my seat. Oh, get out, get out. So the Brahmins went to Jagannath Mishra and they complained. They complained that your son is at the Ganga. He's bothering all the Brahmins. No, my son is in school. No, he's not. No. And so one of the boys was near the house of Jagannath Mishra. He heard this. He went running to the Ganga. And then he said, Jagannath Mishra is coming here. He was told by the Brahmins that you are doing these activities. And so, no, let us. And so Nimai said, all right. He told all of his friends, you just stay here and play. I'm leaving. So he went by he knew how his father would come. He went by a different pathway. Then he took dust and threw it on his body. Then he took some ink and put it on his hands. And then he got his books, which he had left, and he came. Jagannath Mishra arrived at the Ganga. Where is Nimai? We haven't seen him? No. No. The Brahmins don't lie. No. Where is he? We don't know. Oh, these Brahmins, they must be confused. They must have seen someone that looks like Nimai. No. How many golden children are there? No. But anyway. No. So they gave all kinds of excuses. Jagannath Mishra was a little confused. And he said, well, maybe they're covering for him. Then he came home, and he came just when he was arriving. Nimai was arriving. He had his books, ink on his hands, covered with dust. No. Oh, Father, I'm just coming from school. No. And no, I know you were playing in the Ganga. What? No. How could I? You can see I've been studying. I learned so many things today. And so Jagannath Mishra was overpowered by Yoga Maya. And he accepted that excuse. And then Jagannath Mishra went to the Brahmins and he said, well, since Nimai was bothering you, I told him that he should not go to the Ganga anymore. Then he won't bother. No. He must go to the Ganga. He's a Brahmin boy. Actually, they wanted, even though he was apparently bothering them, he was giving them transcendental bliss. So the Brahmin said, no, just like when Yashoda, Krishna, all the ladies came and complained, he's stealing butter. She said, okay, I'll keep him in home. No, don't do that. No. Same thing with these Brahmins. Then another day, Nimai, the young girls, they were praying to Katyayani for having a good husband. And Nimai came and he said, why are you praying to this goddess? What can she do? Actually, all of you, I will marry all of you. No, you're just a young boy. I will marry all of you. I've done this before, he said. When I'm in my previous lifetime, I married so many girls. And I want to marry all of you. And then they said, no, Nimai, you stop. So Nimai became a little angry. And he took this one plant that has stickers, and he put it in their hair. And he threw water on them. And they became very angry. And they started chastising him. He said, don't say another word, otherwise I will curse you, that you will marry an old poor man. No. All of you will marry an old poor man. So they knew Nimai was special. So they said, let's go to Mother Sachi. They went to Mother Sachi. They showed Mother Sachi their hair all tangled up with these spurs, these burrs and stickers in their hairs, and complaining about Nita. So they said, all right. She said, I will keep him at home. No, don't do that. No. So even though he was doing such mischievous things, so many mischievous things, nobody wanted him to stop. So then Jagannath Mishra, again, he had this dream, and he realized, and Nimai was back in school, and now he was learning. He was the most advanced student of Gangadat Pandit. He was so advanced that one day Gangadas Pandit gave a riddle, very Sanskrit riddle. And he said, who can solve this? Nimai. And then he said, all right. So he solved the riddle with another riddle. He said, can anyone interpret this? Can anyone figure this out? No one could. Then he again defeated that one with another argument. He said, can anyone defeat this? No one could do it. Then he gave another argument. Can anyone defeat this? No one could do it. Then he went back to the original argument and defeated it with the original argument, showing that I am Nimai Pandit. Even Gangadas became a little upset with him, transcendentally upset. You have to study more. And he said, why should I study? I want to play. No, I already know all these things. Why do I need to study? So this is how Nimai passed his times. He was doing so many wonderful things. as it says, that the wonderful things that he did, just like Krishna, anugrahaya bhaktanam manushim, that anugrahaya bhaktanam, he's so merciful to his devotees, that manushim deha astita, that he performs wonderful pastime, just like a human being. And they're so wonderful that atiti kridha. He does this ya shutva ya paro bhavet. He does these wonderful pastimes so that his devotees will remember them and hear them and become advanced in their spiritual life. So, of course, he does it internally for his own pleasure. And so that in this way, Nimai did one thing after another. So then Jagannath Mishra had another dream about him taking sannyas. And he knew that Nimai, soon he will take sannyas. Vishwarup took, it almost broke my heart. But if Nimai does it, I will not be able to live. So Jagannath Mishra stopped eating and he stopped talking. And Sachi Devi was trying to convince him, you have to eat, but he wouldn't say anything. And finally, he just said, he just admitted, now Nimai will take sannyas. And what will I do? How will I live? So he went into yoga trance and he left his body after 3 months. Nimai became very, very, very upset. So upset that he began to misbehave. Of course, this is his lila. And Sachi Devi, she was so aggrieved that he was upset. He was still, when he was very young, he was still very young. So she would get upset. So one day he decided, I will upset my mother. No. So he and his friends, they went and they found some little puppies, just been born. And so everyone got a puppy. And they all said, no, Nimai, you got the most beautiful one. No. They would argue with him, just like Krishna's friends would argue. And Nimai was seen as the most youngest, the most innocent. No. And so he took the puppy home and he showed it to his mother. She said, what? I'm trying to raise you as a Brahmin and you have a dog? Brahmins keep cows. They don't keep dogs. No. And so he said, he started crying. He said, no. You go take your bath. I'll feed your little puppy. So as soon as he left, she put the puppy outside. He left. Nimai came back. Of course, he knew what happened. He started crying and crying. And finally, he stopped. And Yashoda was, Sachi Devi was happy. And then a few days later, in the marketplace, this dog, he'd grown up now, a little bigger, came into the marketplace and stood up on the back legs. And he started saying, Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Everybody saw this dog chanting Govinda. And he was dancing, chanting Govinda. The whole marketplace looked. And then all of a sudden, he went into ecstasy and fell over, dead. And then a chariot came from the sky, directly from Goloka Vrindavan. And he got into the chariot and went back home, back to Godhead, just by being touched by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a little baby, sometimes, one time there was a big snake that crawled into his courtyard. And he went out in the middle of, and sat right on the middle of the snake's back. Everybody remembered the Kaliya pastime, just like Krishna went with Kaliya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat on this big snake, a big python. And Mother Sachi is thinking, oh, this snake is going to swallow up Nimai. But then he got off the snake and the snake crawled away. Actually, the snake was Anantadev, Shesha, who had come just to get the Lord's darshan. And then they decorated the Lord with beautiful jewels. And there were two thieves. They walked by, they said, "Oh, look at these jewels, little tiny child with so many beautiful jewels." So they got some burfi, some different rubbery sweets. They showed it to him. They were hiding. Everybody was inside the house. They showed he crawled over there. He took their sweets, because by taking their offering, they actually became devotees. But they were still in the mood of thieves. So they thought, now this boy has come. They took him, and he was laughing, because he was happy. Now they have become my devotees. And one of them put it on his shoulders. "Let us take you for a little ride." Yes, he said, "Yeah, let's go." And so they started walking. We will go take him to some secret place, and we'll steal his jewels. And so they got to that place. They thought they were going to a certain place. They had a place figured out. They were walking. In the meantime, Jagannath Mishra came out of the house. "Where is Nimai?" Everybody weren't running around looking for Nimai. But by his Yoga Maya potency, the thieves went around in a circle, and they came back, and they were thinking, now we're just about to arrive at this place, we'll take the jewels. And they saw, we're at Jagannath Mishra's house. So immediately they put him down and they ran. And then everybody saw Nimai. Said, "Nimai, where have you gone?" And one Brahmin said, No, actually he wandered off, but there were two nice gentlemen who came and brought him back. We were going to go and reward him, but they ran away. They're so humble. They were afraid. They would have gotten rewarded, but actually they got the greatest reward. They got Gaura Bhakti. So these are some pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there are unlimited pastimes. Vrindavandas Thakur and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami both said, even if Lord Anantadev came and began to recite his pastimes for thousands of years, they could never recite all the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his pastimes were a little bit easier to understand than the pastimes of Krishna. Krishna's pastimes, dancing with the gopis, very difficult. Most people cannot understand them, or they understand them in the wrong way. And so, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are meant to bring us closer to Krishna. That's why his pastimes are even more human-like. And he acted so human-like that he took sannyas. And I'll just mention one pastime in his taking of sannyas, and then we'll stop because it's getting late, even though there's no breakfast today, so no problem. So, when he decided to take sannyas, he told Nityananda, and he said, "Don't tell anyone else. You can tell Mukunda, but no one else." So Nityananda was very forlorn. But then Lord Chaitanya said, "You can come with me. When I took order, you can come." So Nityananda was happy. But somehow or another, because of his action, Sachi Devi perceived that he was going to take sannyas. She became very forlorn. And then the day came to taking sannyas. Lord Chaitanya woke up at 1 in the morning. "Now I will depart because I don't want anyone to see me, because they will become very sad, or they may follow me. And if they may detain me, and then I won't be able to do it." Because why did he want to take sannyas? Well, some of his students were rebellious, and he thought, if I take sannyas, then they will become respectful. That was his external reason. But his internal reason was, I want to go to Vrindavan. I want to be absorbed in Krishna. If I'm married, if I'm married, I have this wife, she's always, going to want me to do things. I won't be able to dedicate myself to Krishna's service. Therefore, let me take sannyas and I can go to Vrindavan. He was thinking, I'll go to Vrindavan and I'll stay there. That's what he was thinking at the time. So he got up at 1 in the morning, he came to the door, and oh no, there's Mother Shachi sitting there. So he just walked by. No. She didn't say anything. Tears were coming from her eyes. And he said, I'm just going. She said, you don't consider this your home. You don't consider me your mother. So you go. Do what you want. Lord Chaitanya was heartbroken. My mother. Everyone, their mother is very dear. What to speak of the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Lord Chaitanya, then he left. And the next morning, just a few hours later, everyone came. They saw Mother Sachi sitting there, crying. This big, sad face. They understood, especially Advaita Charya, he understood the Lord has left. I heard some rumor from the heart, he heard, that the Lord is taking sannyas. So Advaita said, what is the use of this body? What is the use of this? He started running toward the Ganga, and everybody was following behind him. Let us give up the body. But then that famous voice from the sky, that always just in the nick of time, said, he will return in 8 days. Everybody stopped. Mother Sachi was walking around, asking everyone, have you seen Krishna and Balaram? Did they pass by here today? She was totally absorbed in separation. So then Lord Chaitanya went to take sannyas. And just the morning before the ceremony, he came up to Keshava Bharati and he said, my dear master, I have a doubt. Last night I had a dream. Someone was reciting this sannyas mantra. So I'd like to say it to you to see if it was really the sannyas mantra. So Lord Chaitanya went to his right ear and he chanted the mantra. Actually, what he did was he initiated Keshava Bharati in the name of revealing the mantra. Keshava, oh yes, that is the mantra. So because of that, after he took sannyas, of course, his taking sannyas for all of the devotees was very painful, especially when he cut his beautiful hair. Even the barber, he was ready to cut, and everybody goes, no! And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, cut it. And he himself was crying. He didn't want, his hair was so beautiful. Just started to cut. Everybody goes, no! And he's like in complete anxiety. The Lord Chaitanya says, cut it. So he just finally shaved his head. And he fainted in ecstasy. And then Lord Chaitanya went to the ceremony. And after the ceremony, he began a kirtan. Now Keshava Bharati, who was previously a Mayavad sannyasi, he had become a devotee. And so when the kirtan began, Keshava Bharati began to dance so ecstatically. He was going around in circles so fast that all of his clothes flew off. It's like if you spin something very quickly, everything goes out. Centrifugal force. So he was dancing naked, and everybody's looking at him. He's well, I must be dancing very nicely. Everybody's looking at him because he had no clothes. And then he realized, oh, all right. So this is the potency of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He can transform anyone. And by hearing about his pastimes, all of our deficiencies and all of our inequities will be totally eliminated if we simply hear about his wonderful, beautiful, transcendental pastimes. Just like Queen Kunti said about Krishna, that Janma karma chavishvatman ajasya kartur atmanam. You were born and you have these activities, although you are unborn and you have no activities. Who can understand? No, that tiryan rishishu yadahyu. Even though sometimes you appear as a human being, as an animal, as an aquatic, no, all tat atyanta vidambanam. It is totally bewildering. Who can understand your pastimes? So who can understand the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? We cannot understand, but we can try to relish them. And therefore Srila Prabhupada said that that it is not necessary to worship Radha and Krishna. We have Radha and Krishna here, we're worshiping. He said this in Miami, USA. Because Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, they made 3 sets of deities. These big bronze deities. They're like almost 6 feet tall. Only 3 sets. They're so heavy. You know, just like we have our deities of Panchatattva in Mayapur. Devotee took like 8 devotees to move these deities. So one pair is in Miami, one pair is in Atlanta, and the other pair is in Guadalajara, Mexico. So these very special deities. And when Srila Prabhupada saw them, he went into ecstasy. Actually, when Srila Prabhupada went to Venezuela, Caracas, Venezuela, he saw Gornitai, and he sang Parama Karuna. And after he said Parama Karuna, he stopped, and tears were flowing from his eyes, and his voice was choked up. And he went into ecstasy for 5 minutes. The devotees didn't know what to do. There's Prabhupada in ecstasy. And then, again, devotees started chanting. One devotee had read about Lord Chaitanya that when he went into ecstasy, devotees would chant. So the devotees started chanting. And then Prabhupada, and he couldn't sing the song anymore. He was just meditating so much on the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So much so that Prabhupada actually at one point in time, he told the devotees to manufacture little dolls, cloth dolls of Chaitanya Nitai. And he told the devotees, you can go distribute these dolls to the people when you do Sankirtan. And then you tell them they are great saints. If you take them home and they will bless you. And Prabhupada wanted to do that. But then he thought, my godbrothers will criticize me. No, I'm giving out Chaitanya to the atheists, putting them in their hands. So he didn't do it. No. But he thought about it. He was so absorbed. Then when Prabhupada went from Miami to Atlanta, all the Sankirtan devotees from the USA, they all came. All these Sankirtan devotees. And Prabhupada again chanted Parama Karuna. And again he went into ecstasy, but only for 1 minute. And then he said, so Chaitanya and Nityananda have come here. They have come to bless you all. So when you go out in Sankirtan, don't leave them in the temple. Take them with you in your hearts. He said, Chaitanya and Nityananda, they don't want to stay in the temple. They want to go out on Sankirtan. So you take them with you. Otherwise, you absorb their mercy. You meditate on how merciful they are, and you take that mercy with you. No. And then you will be able to distribute these books, and people will feel that mercy coming from Lord Chaitanya, and they will actually take the books very seriously. Just one last thing. I have to tell this. One time I was doing Sankirtan in New Orleans in USA. It's considered to be the most sinful city in the whole USA. Very sinful place. Everybody, the whole city is just bars, canteen, you know. Even those days, in the 1970s, homosexual bars, this kind of bar, that kind of bar. It was a very difficult place because everybody came with the mood, sinful, gross, sinful sense gratification. So I was in the airport, one person after another. Oh, you like the book? Get out. So then one man, and what was I distributing? Adi-lila 4. No. And so this one man, I said, please take this book. No, this was in the airport. This man was leaving. So he said, okay. He gave me a donation. He sat down, started reading, and then he closed the book, and he started walking over to me. I thought, oh my God, who could, this is a businessman, how is he going to understand? So he said, I have a question. So this Chaitanya, he's in the ocean, and the fisherman, he catches him. So the fisherman thought he was a ghost. So was he a ghost? Or was he God? No. Oh, he was God. Oh, thank you very much. He sat down again and started reading. No. So I thought, all this effort to distribute, because why were we distributing Adi-lila 4? Because Prabhupada wanted the Chaitanya Charitamrita to be published. So it was finished in 2 months. But then the devotees were slow, very slow, because they didn't have enough money to publish all the books. So every edition came out, Prabhupada said, only distribute this. No? So we were distributing Adi-lila, and it was a little more difficult. No? Adi-lila 1, 2, 3, 4, intimate pastimes of the Lord Chaitanya. But we were distributing, and finally we distributed all those Adi-lila 4s, and they printed Adi-lila 5. And Lord Chaitanya's, Prabhupada was so happy. Now Lord Chaitanya's mercy is in the hands of everyone. So we should also distribute these Chaitanya Charitamritas. Now, Bhadra Purnima, we can do Bhagavatam. Now, Gaur Purnima, it's a little late this time, but next time, Gaur Purnima, we can have Chaitanya Charitamrita Marathon and distribute thousands and thousands of, even today, everyone that comes today, we should try, if they don't have Chaitanya Charitamrita, and any of you that don't have it, if you get it today, you will get special blessings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if anyone doesn't have it, our BBT office is right upstairs. No, we can facilitate you. No, right over here. And our representatives are here, ready to facilitate you to get this Chaitanya Charitamrita. On this day, you will get unlimited blessings. No? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will jump off the altar into your heart, not physically, but spiritually. No? And he will enter into your heart through the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And everyone that comes today, the Sankirtan devotees especially, do you have Chaitanya Charitamrita? This is the day you should get it. No, you must get it today. Then you will get the blessing. You will get unlimited blessings. We know that they will get spiritual blessings. They will think, I will get material blessings. That doesn't matter. No, doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what we know. No, we know they will get the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No. So everyone, get this mercy. Give this mercy. This will make Lord Chaitanya unlimitedly happy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Sri Gaur Purnima ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So, it looks like there might be a few questions. I don't know, we've gone over time, but because there's no breakfast, maybe we can take a few questions. Okay, just 1 minute. I have to put in my hearing apparatuses because here in India, kirtan is very loud. Loudspeakers are very big, so it's affected my hearing. So even I saw Brajahari Prabhu. He doesn't want to end up like me. No. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Just a small addition to your point that Chaitanya Charitamrita is available on discount prices, and today is the last day for the discount prices. As you mentioned, if somebody is interested, they can contact Gunadamaya Prabhu or me. We have a discount price. If somebody wants to sponsor also,
stand up. You're big. Everybody can see you.
If somebody would like to sponsor sets for others, there are a lot of young boys, students from different centers. They would like to take, if anybody is ready to sponsor few sets in various languages.
And I wasn't, they didn't have me advertised today. No one contacted me. I just thought of it. So that wasn't a paid announcement. No.
Would you like to sign on the first copy? Maybe.
I will sign as many copies as you.
Jai Ho, Jai Ho. And Maharaj would like to give a personal signature and message on that if anybody would like to sponsor or take the Chaitanya Charitamrita set.
Yes, you can also, if you have it, you can sponsor someone who doesn't have it. This is another possibility. This is by Shashikar Prabhu's program. That you don't have to get it if you already have it. Then you can multiply your blessings. You get instead of Chaitanya, you get Chaitanya Nityananda. Or if you can give 5 sets, you can get Panchatattva mercy. So, you give 108 sets, you get Krishna and the Gopis mercy. No, there's no limit. No limit to what you can do. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, question. So there are 3 internal reasons why Lord Chaitanya appeared. Right? There are 3 internal reasons I heard from Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes.
One is to know
One is Radha Krishna Panaya Mahima Vikrito. That to understand the greatness and the glories of Srimati Radharani. Then another one is Anya Swadya Yenad Buddha Yad Madhudima. To taste the sweetness of Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna. And the third one is Saukyam Yasya Tad Anubhavita. Anubhavatan. That the third one is to feel the happiness that Srimati Radharani feels when she tastes the sweetness of Krishna. So each one becomes greater and more intense.
In these 3, Maharaj, 2 I feel it is distinctly I understand 2 things, and the 2 things like understanding the position of Radharani and experiencing what Radharani is experiencing, both looks same.
No, one is she understand the sweetness she tastes,
okay,
and then understand the happiness, the bliss that she feels when she tastes that sweetness. So you see, it becomes more intense. First, the glories. When you hear the glories, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hears the glories, then he begins to taste the sweetness. When he begins to taste the sweetness, he begins to feel the happiness. So these are 3 things.
Both are different.
Yes, it was just intensifying. That's all.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, you were mentioning this pastime of Nimai taking the puppy and the most beautiful puppy. So is there any significance in this fact that he took the most beautiful puppy?
Yes, everyone in Kali Yuga has dog-like mentality. But if they get the mercy of the touch of Mahaprabhu through the chanting of the holy name, then they can go back home, back to Godhead.
Maharaj, did you answer this? I was asking that what was the significance of him taking the beautiful puppy, most beautiful puppy?
Of what? Having the most beautiful puppy?
Yeah. Any
Because
significance
Chaitanya
in this?
Mahaprabhu is the greatest. He gets the most beautiful. No.
Right.
Actually, there was another pastime when Shivananda Sain was taking the devotees to Jagannath Puri. One dog started following. You know, and then, some of you know this, and then the dog was following him, and every day Shivananda would personally feed the dog. And then they came to the river to cross over, and the toll collector saw the dog. He said, no, the dog has to pay also. Shivananda paid for the dog. The dog got on the boat, went across the river. Then when they got close, right near Jagannath Puri, as soon as they could see the chakra, that they all offered obeisances, and the dog disappeared. Shivananda sent everyone looking for that dog. This dog got the blessing of the Vaishnavas. Then when they arrived at Jagannath Puri, Lord Chaitanya invited them all to take prasadam, and he sat down to take prasadam with them. And they sat down, and they looked, and the dog came and sat down at the end after all the devotees. And Lord Chaitanya took some coconut pulp, and he threw it to the dog. The dog caught it, ate it, and fell over dead. And then everyone saw a four-armed form rising and went back home, back to Vaikuntha. So there are a few dog pastimes. You know. And Krishna in Govardhan, he ordered that even the dogs and the cats should eat. They should all get the feast. Otherwise, we see everyone as a living entity, as a recipient of the mercy of Krishna. No, we don't discriminate. We should see sama sarvashu bhuteshu, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, see everyone the same. This is the symptom of spiritual enlightenment. So one more question, then we'll stop.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It is mentioned that by perfecting or practicing one limb of devotional service, we can achieve perfection. Either of the... So what is the special significance of Nam Sankirtan?
Nam Sankirtan? Nama Sankirtan, Yuga Dharma Pravartaimu Nama Sankirtan. It is the Yuga Dharma. It's always the Yuga Dharma in Kali Yuga. In every Kali Yuga. Sometimes Gaur Narayan comes, another form of Narayan who's golden, but he's not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No. And he distributes the holy name. But Lord Chaitanya empowered the holy name to be especially merciful to everyone. In other ages, people they chanted the holy name, but they didn't think that was enough. They had to do austerities. I explained this yesterday. They had to do austerities and penances. No, because that was the Yuga Dharma. So they didn't take full advantage. But because of the nature of Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya has invested. No, Namakari Bahudanija Sarva Shaktis. He has invested all the potencies were always there, but they are easily available. No. Before, people would chant it with rules and regulations of chanting mantras. But as Lord Chaitanya says in Shikshastikam, Niyamita, there are no rules. No. There are no rules, there's no time. You just chant and the full potency. The only thing you have to do is meditate on the holy name. Chant it without offenses, without thinking of something else, without utilizing it to accomplish something else. Just chant the holy name. No, and that's why it's so special, chanting of the holy name in this particular Kali Yuga. No. So we're so fortunate. We're so fortunate. One person said to me, yes, we're fortunate, but why wasn't I fortunate enough to take birth in Lord Chaitanya's time? I could have seen Lord Chaitanya. No. But even Jiva Goswami, no, he did not see Lord Chaitanya's pastimes until they were revealed to him by Nityananda. No. And so Srila Prabhupada explains that the farther down you come in the parampara, the more mercy you get. Because many people could not fully understand the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. But if you get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya through Nityananda, then you get more mercy. If you get the mercy of Chaitanya Nityananda from the six Goswami, from Advaita, then you get more mercy. If you get that mercy through the six Goswamis, then you get more mercy. If you get that through Narottam, through Vishwanath, through Baladev, through Jagannath Das Babaji, Gorkishore Das Babaji, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada's devotees, then you have all that mercy, all those lotus feet on your head. So therefore, we were so fortunate. And more devotees that will come in this transcendental movement given by Srila Prabhupada, they will become even more fortunate. So we should just take advantage of this fortune that we're getting. Shri Gaur Purnima ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Avirbhava Mahotsava ki Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.